Hey, what is good? This is Emrall Healer, aka Jesus Christ, Muhammad, Shiva, Buddha, Krishna, as well as other known deities in and out the body. And as well as usual, I'm here to carry out God's will, authority, purity, and essence. And on this second video of the day today, might be the third one. I'm pretty sure it's the second. Well, anyways, there is going to be a third one, regardless, even if I haven't. Okay, anyway, yeah. So, I know it's the 25th, Christmas Day. I know a lot of y'all, and you particularly watching this, are taking a lot of willpower into action, putting it into a place where you can actually resonate with a lot of the things that you're creating and looking forward to. And a big part of today specifically is you really want to reach out. You want to reach out to the things that you used to be, and the places that you used to be, and the person that you used to be. And you want to really kind of extend your left hand to those people, places, things, and situations that you used to be in, and you want to kind of bring them to where you are now in the present moment in order to truly analyze yourself and break it down, because that is the whole point of Christmas Day. Christmas Day originally was to actually put yourself into this deep self-reflective state to where you're actually generating a new reality that has been kind of lost and a little bit disillusioned because of the whole holiday and the ritual festivity around it, which there's a whole live stream, a whole show that they got going on right now in the background. If y'all know it, but they're about to do this little live stream on like the season 3, episode 3 part of it. So I'm actually looking forward to it, because the trailer was pretty hype. All about God's glory and being used as vessels properly has to deal with, or not necessarily deal with, but also has to emulate exactly you having this surrender within yourself, while prioritizing being that activist. So surrender is you accepting all of God within yourself as a being, you not being separate from it, while activism is you proclaiming yourself and you igniting, who you are. It's like the heart has to beat, and it has the rhythm, and you surrender to the heartbeat. It's like, okay, it just does what it does. Clearly, spiritually I had to manifest all of these organs and these body parts, but at the same time, it's like once that one going, it just took off, and it had an own life of its own. And that is you, but it's not anything more or less than what you would describe as this one singular entity that we all occupy in and around. Okay, I almost said outside of, but it's not that at all. You're not from the outside looking in until the inside out has overstood and understood exactly where it contains everything else, a part of it. So when you start to look outside of yourself, that's when you got to that place of oneness, and that's when you start to, okay, clearly I'm not separate anymore. Clearly I'm having these visions, I'm having these dreams, I'm actually energetically and telepathically connected to certain beings, and I can kind of hear them at certain moments and times, especially before you were kind of brought into a heavy, dense state of maybe you started taking drugs or whatever, not you started eating foods that weren't necessarily putting you into that healthy state. You may have lost those abilities, but it's only because that it was put on hold for you to actually get new abilities and get to new places that you've never been. So hold on. I'm gonna hold that thought real quick. Not even a thought, it's really just expression. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this water cup right here. Yeah, right? The Y following the E, then the A, finally the her. The heat, you know? The high, right? So, yeah, it's just a lot, you know? It's a lot to implement, and I don't want you to think that Christmas is a day where you have to really, you know, this is the day to really soak in everything and bathe in everything spiritually. This is the day where, you know, putting things down on paper, hence why I even have this here right now. You know, it's all for a reason, right? It's there so that you could do that. And right now I'm kind of just showing off a lot of my inherent gifts and natures and abilities because of, you know, where everything has led up to now, and everything that has occurred and will occur based upon my affirmational point of view of intersecting reality as we know it, which that is self-generated, that is self-perpetuated. It's never neglected, and it's never per se let go of. You know, it's not something to let go of. It's something to acknowledge and let be. There's a big difference, because a lot of times you think, oh, I need to let go of these people, places, things, situations. I need to let go. Okay, why are you trying to let go of something that's just a part of you? Rather, just acknowledge it for what it is, let it be, and then things will just unveil itself as they shall, because they always do. Which that's not something that's just common sense either. That's something that's deeply ingrained and instilled in a behavior that is healthy. And if you want to be healthy, you got to do things that are healthy. Which, you know, earlier today on today's last video, you can watch that. I broke that down. It's like part of you know, wanting to be the person and the being that you want to be is you actually, you know, in real life doing the thing that's gonna make you that. It's doing those, is actively being that. It's actively doing it, right? The action of it. But not to get too lost in that atmosphere of action either, because a lot of times we don't acknowledge the being part of it. The being comes and then it's the action, right? A lot of times we think it's the action and the being, which it leads you to the right place, but no, it's the being that's gonna take away all of the desires. It's the being that's gonna fight internally, you know, spiritually, what's actually happening, that's leading you into places of just material dense natures. Like today, like it was a lot of for me it was a lot of just receiving a lot of mankind's sexual energies, and I had to kind of transmute it and really get into my Scorpio. So I kind of today, like all of today, I've just been in the 60 to 68. It's like, you know, now I'm relating that to y'all, but it's just to get up and get back to my heart through the will of God and into the heart nature, which is where I reside. I have to do this ascending spiritual work off camera, and when I do get on camera, is to really broadcast exactly what I'm doing to the fullest extent without trying to let anything be hidden or just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really trying to show you, like, I'm going through exactly what mankind's desires is entailing right now, because I'm here for people. I'm not just separate. I'm not just, all to myself. And of course, my change as Dr. Change, and change being the only universal constant, we never had no one to blame. I'm never going to be in a place where I'm not the one changing, because I'm always the one changing first. And then I can help others change. And then I can come on here and really show exactly what I'm doing. So since I just brought that right there to that awareness, it gives me a good point, because I got the two exactly collisions right there, which the directional gateways are flowing them to have that place, because so okay, hold on. So yeah, first we're going to talk about the positive, then of course the negative, which the change is the negative part, which is the spiraling. It can go upward or downward. The positive, the surplus, the always additive effect, is more of like a box. It's a square. It's not like a box, like a jail, which has been contorted and really it's wicked. It's wicked. That's taking what is spiritually something that is connecting all angles together, and it's putting it into a material demonic state of oppression, which it can be self-subjugated based upon what you and collectively as mankind have been doing for a long time now. And there's lots of individuals that get away with it, but they're really, it doesn't last. It never does, because it's just all interconnected. It's all tied. It's like when you harm yourself and you harm others, and you're doing activities and behaviors that is, something you've been taught that's not necessarily the truth. It's not you. It's not in your feeling. It's like you're suppressing your feeling. You're pressing your heart, and you turn to a lot of like gain that you'll get out from the outside, but you're not coming at it from that right place. So it's the change is a part of acquiring these things, but the additive, the surplus, is bringing all of reality together. So that's kind of where I just did that. How I was explaining to y'all, and then the dimensional warp gates, kind of leading them to actually have a place. So yeah. Anyways, I could add to that, absolutely. I could say the negative, the change, is definitely the unknown, so I'll put the X there. Whereas this right here, the additive, the connection, oh yeah, it's a whole sphere. It's actually already brought together. So the X right there, unknown. It's part of the change, part of the spiraling upwards and downwards. Change is the negative portion, because change is what was created so the originality could view itself. If you catch me there, the additive, the positive, the circumference, and the square. That is reality. Reality is positive in nature. Reality is a full circle of life. Reality consists of all angles, conjoining and coming together. Without that, there would be no heart. So, anyways, I don't want to end it too soon, because I feel like there's a few more things to go over. Because this video is just on exactly what Christmas, the energy of Christmas is, and what it exactly entails, and why today specifically is a day to really just soak in spiritually a lot of things and relax and take it easy and really, practice all sorts of meditation, relaxing meditation, whatever you feel inherently is going to take you to the right place, to the right actions, to the right wills. but it's heart and mind. It's everything. It's not anything that's away from yourself. But yeah, so today I was really in the 68. I had to dive in deep into the desires of mankind, and I was really feeling the expression within that, and it always brings me into a lower state. I don't necessarily, enjoy it. I more per se take pleasure in it because of the reasoning that it's just it's just something that is of the bodily natures, but I don't look at it as me being separate either. So when I do take pleasure in it, like everyone else, it puts me in a place where I don't want to be, and I don't like being in that space, because a lot of times I come to find that it does more damage than it does good, and a lot of people gain a lot from these spaces, and I don't enjoy it one bit. I'll be honest. I'll be real. It doesn't help me. It doesn't help me in any way, shape, or form at all. I just look at it like yeah. Though it does help create change, but see, the when you miss the final, proportion of it, that's where the actual change is coming. It's not just, because this was initiated and this was understood, but this is where it was really, really brought onto the knees. This is where it's really where it actually 1 and 0 came. The individual and the no thing, the circle had come together. So you could even say, like, yeah, the unknown, you as an individual, you creating the body you created and all of the reality that you occupy, that's definitely the unknown, because the known is none of these things. It's almost like the outside looking in, like I said earlier, but you can't necessarily get to the outside looking in until you have this positive, the up and down and the left to right, additive, fully engrossed, fully embodied, fully occupied sense of, your spirituality, yourself intact. And then you can, and then finalize that into the squaring is having everything in its right angle, its right place. Everything having its position, right? Everyone, once you get into your career and really start blossoming and like the shining star that you are, change is gonna come with that. But the change has to be metabolized into that. The spiral has to be alchemized, has to be taken out of the unknown, all three have its place, but for a reason. Until you step into the trinity of both these, you'll never truly finish the job. You'll never truly get to this, up out of the 8, through the 7 of relations, up into the awareness, which is your lower state. But God's will, once you're in that lower state in hell, God's will automatically bring you into the feeling of heaven, what heaven feels like, and then you'll be able to move in this fluid water state exactly where you need to be, and not anywhere or you think you're supposed to be or you should be. So I'm really keeping it hydrated. I'm really keeping it H2O, So notice that connects, the circle. So yeah. right, Vice? Right. It is vice. Any behavior that takes you out of full connectedness and harmony, but don't worry about it. All you gotta do is focus on getting back to where you started, because once you started right, you will get back to your healing. You will come back to exactly what you need to be doing. But you need to have self-love and trust in yourself that you will get there. Because you always do, and you're the only one that lets you down. So don't think that you can't keep flying, because you let you down. And you did it for a reason, and so you could relate and connect. But too much of that in the wrong way, having not reached the Trinity, oh yeah, having not put into a certain place and finalized into the angle out of the sphere, has no place. It's just a never-ending circle, and it's just consuming itself. It's the dragon's tail, But I'm itching to get out of this chair and kind of lay down, so I'm gonna go do that. But today is that day. Before I say that, finish saying that, peace, love, and enlightenment. Be well, be more thou, and truly, like, today is the day where you're gonna get to know yourself on levels that you never have, simply by just wrapping in all of the actions that's health and healing. And you don't have to get lost in just the circle of life. You can come out of the circle of life and put me at the angle, at the right hand, up in heaven, where I'm here to literally lead you to health and salvation. It doesn't have to be the way you think it has to be. It can be in whatever way you imagine. So if the love of your heart desires to create life and not take it away, then start putting in the right actions and start changing everything about you, including your diet, including what you put in your body. Be a living substance rather than a death, flesh, dead flesh. Because that is death. You're consuming death, right? So I don't like to make anything common sense. I like the plain and obvious to be fully accepted, and then show you exactly what spiritually is happening to lead you out of hell into the heart. Because that's the 6, awareness, that will show you what in hell is even, hurting and harming. And then the will and action of God will take you right where you need to be. So, without further ado, I don't really have much more to add, except just that. I'm going to go ahead and metabolize a lot of things and get ready to watch the show. We're going to have a third video finishing off today. But, yeah. Self-love goes wrong.